What is going on, guys? It's your boy HQ420. Welcome y'all back to another episode of Showtime with the Cube. We've got the powerful one with us back this week, Corey Hughes. Corey, are you doing well tonight?
I'm okay.
This afternoon?
Might.
Only okay? All right.
Yeah.
Decent. Okay.
Decent.
That's fair enough. We're going to be covering the Acolyte for you guys. Before we jump into the most recent episode 7, I did a small rant last week for episode 6 because there wasn't much happening. So we want to give Corey the floor and let him give his thoughts on episode 6 of the Acolyte.
Sure. So, episode 6, we're talking about the grand deception is at play here. We're talking about the switcheroo between Osha and May, which was, I mean, who are you trying to fool? Like, the Jedi? Really?
Yeah.
You're going to deceive them? I don't think so. So, that was the whole story. Like, the deception was there and it was uncovered. And that was pretty much it. If I'm not mistaken, all of the good stuff happens in the next episode.
Is that what we're calling it?
I guess. I'm being optimistic here.
The good stuff. The good stuff happens. What'd you think about the? They had a little bit of sexual tension between Quamir and Osha when he's out there butt naked bathing in the pool. Comes out, cock out. She looks down at it. I'm like, oh.
This is not for children. So Star Wars never seen anything like this, really. And she's got to be gay, right? Because she's in a Star Wars film. So what was he thinking?
Yeah, that's the whole premise there. I mean, he just got right out butt naked. Now, of course, in that episode, we see he's got a scar across his back. It seems to be in the formation of a whip. We see Vernestra at the end use her whip to kill one of the Maws. She's got the whip lightsaber. All right, first time I've seen that. But they said that that's the style lightsaber she had in whatever book she was in. I think she was in some books previously. So they said that it's a style of lightsaber, but it's not usually used. And of course, we see that hers is purple, which means that she does use some of the dark side as well when she's fighting in her abilities, as well as Mace Windu. This would be the second person that we've seen as far as live action, Mace Windu being the first that has the purple lightsaber. And that does signify that you use them both light and dark. There's not many people that are able to do that because most of the time they go dark.
Well, see, I don't know if I buy that as a Star Wars person. I think at one point in time, the colors are supposed to mean something, but I think those days are long gone.
That is what that means.
I don't think so. I'm sorry.
That's what they said.
I don't buy it.
I mean, pulls from the. I mean, they even say that's why Mace Windu was actually able to defeat Palpatine because he taps into his fighting style, taps into the dark side of the Force, and is forbidden.
So one of the only brothers with a lightsaber, and he's got to be on the dark side. No, I don't think so. This is overtly racist. Okay, I can't tolerate this.
Vernestra's green, and she's a woman though. She's a woman of color. Oh, she is a woman of color, isn't she? I mean, right.
Once upon a time, the whole kyber crystal thing meant something, but I think they've just tarnished like any possibility of salvaging any real lore around the kyber crystals. So,
okay, all right. So, to be honest, there wasn't a whole lot happening in 6. It just was kind of an episode that. It was another filler episode.
It was a filler episode, big time. And then,
it was
big time.
It was literally a filler episode. So we're going to go ahead and jump into episode 7 of the Acolyte. And the name of this episode is Choice. And the title they got below it is A Bitter Truth is Revealed. Corey, when you watched this particular episode, did you feel that a bitter truth was revealed?
Not really, because we knew something else had happened there. We knew in the flashback world, which is what we'll call it, flashback world, we knew that something else had to have happened because the guilt that was felt by the Jedi who drank the poison and by the other guy was not, the feelings of guilt were way out of proportion for what we knew had just happened with the fire and all that. So we knew something more than the fire had happened, and now we know what. And so This, I believe, was an attempt to demonize the Jedi. But here's the
It
thing:
didn't work.
it didn't work because they're supposed to defend themselves. And when she went into that big
Demon cloud,
demon
eyes go
thing,
black.
bro,
I
what
was
do you
like, "What you
expect?
expect?"
Exactly. What'd you expect?
He's got no idea what's going on. And look at that point in time, Soul couldn't tell the difference between May and Osha then, because when May ran out, he said Osha. I said Bo. They used two separate girls as actresses. They don't even look the same when they're young. You know what I'm saying? He still couldn't tell the difference. He was like Osha. So Mother Anastasia, the mother. You know what I'm saying? May runs out. Mama, she goes just straight into this demon cloud. Eyes go black. He sees that May is she's starting to get a demon cloud around her. He's like, what the hell happening? Now, I don't understand. I guess that she part of her body, it was still there. It hadn't fully materialized into the black dust or whatever, because I was like, how'd he stab her? I mean, she's missed. I was like, I mean, that threw me off. It threw me off completely.
One thing I could say about this episode was I felt like the whole episode was a big deja vu. Like we already saw this story. They pretty much
they re-showed us the same episode 3.
Yeah,
for the most part.
They rehashed so much of the same. I'm sitting there going, didn't I already see this? Like it was pretty much everything.
Yeah, and that's really pathetic, seeing how this is $180 million budget for this project. $180 million budget for this project. Okay, and you've got filler episodes, and you've got episodes where you're showing us the exact same thing, just from a slightly different angle. They're not even saying anything different. You know what I'm saying? They're saying the same things in the episode. I was like, hold on a second now. Now we find out a little bit about a couple of, actually the other Jedi, Torben. We find out that he's homesick and a bitch. I mean, I'm like, dude. Now they pick you up when you're young, so maybe this is the first time that I've seen this. But usually, you don't see any of the Jedi talk about, oh man, I'm ready to go home. I'm homesick. I'm just like, what is this? I mean, Torben's like a punani. And then on top of that, it's like, what happened right here? This made you want to off yourself. I mean, I didn't. When they said, because we had an idea that they had to show us the flashback once again to show what all happened. And I was expecting something really evil from these Jedi. You know what I'm saying? Like, the cult of witches saying, look, we're not going to allow you to take May and Osha from us. All right, so leave this place. All right, and there won't be any problems. And they're saying, okay. And then they get together at camp later on and say, you know what? Fuck this. We're going to kick their ass, all right, and take them. I mean, I was looking for something like that. But, as it was, I was like, this really ain't nothing to have a whole bunch of regret about. I mean, to be honest, I mean, what you think? It seemed like it was supposed to be deeper. Like, I feel like deeper and darker, but it didn't quite hit.
No, what this entire episode felt like was when you get those movies that will play you a movie from one person's perspective, and then you get the scene again over from like a different person's perspective. Mm-hmm. That was kind of what I felt in this. And none of them liked the Jedi. None of them appreciated the Jedi. They were all obviously hiding out on this planet in part to be away from them and have their own thing going on. It was never above board at all. So for them to try to demonize the Jedi by showing that he was willing to kill and the Jedis don't do that, I think that was what they were getting at. That to me seemed very shallow and out of context intentionally, right?
Right. Right. Now, the reason the Jedi were there is because this particular planet, Brindok, is supposed to be barren, and it's not. Things are growing, and they say, "Oh, there must be a virgins in the Force." Okay, a virgins, kind of like Anakin, but before Anakin. You know what I'm saying? And so,
That's a
do you want to
problem.
go there?
That's a
Do you want to
problem.
go?
We shouldn't go there because it's just canon breaking. It really is. It's just it shows that the Force was able to be manipulated like that. Like it was manipulated by the witches, but then the Force did it naturally with Anakin. Like I don't
Okay,
like it at
so it was
all.
manipulated by the witches, alright, to create life, and that's what and Palpatine was trying to do that, and so the Force kind of threw him a big middle finger. You know what I'm saying? And created Anakin. That's the premise of the canon, correct? I
Yes.
think from what I've been seeing, that's the premise of the canon. Palpatine was trying to make the ultimate dark side user, trying to make it from scratch, from the Force. Force is like, that's not how this works. Here goes the bird. Oh, but I forgot to tell you that we let some witches do that on Brendok about 100 years prior.
Yeah.
Like just like um, and the practical effects here were terrible. Like we seen Kel Naka out there with a damn metal detector from Home Depot. I'm like, what? Y'all couldn't even make that. They could at least make that, alienish. I mean,
So another thing I think is weird. Here's another thing I'm going to point out, which is kind of ridiculous. How long were they
Mhm.
on that planet? Like 7 weeks, like
Yeah.
just camping, and ain't nobody the wiser. All these Force users there, and nobody can tell that nobody's on the
Nope.
planet.
Can't even feel it, Bo. Only feel it in your pantalones or nothing.
No, I can see if they're gonna go with the angle like the dark side is deceptive and hard to grasp, and so you couldn't see. I get that, but the other people, the witches, should have felt the presence there, shouldn't they have, and gone out and looked for him?
I'm guessing so. I don't even know if they're considering them using the dark side. Is that what they're? I mean, I would assume that it would be because I mean I haven't seen now. Jedi use the Jedi mind trick. You know what I'm saying? As far as that goes, but I see like they purity possess a body, so I would figure that would be the dark side, but it never actually states that they're using the dark side, that they're dark side users. They call it the thread, of course. They don't call it the force. All right, so that's where there's some disconnects there. Let's just say that there's a few disconnects there, and also Soul is he's almost like over the top freakish about OSHA, like almost like close to like
He
you
is
know
kind of
child predator type about OSHA.
yeah.
It's like
He feels connected to her. He can see her as a. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Where is this coming from?
yeah, this is what I'm saying. It's just kind of like I know she will be my Padawan. I'm like, from what? I mean, you ain't even really talked to her. I'm like, why do you? And I think that has to go back to the actual writing. Like, it's just like it's just throwing that out there, and you're like, but why? I mean, it's just like there's nothing significant that's happened here to
She
make you
hasn't
think y'all got some deep
demonstrated.
connection.
She
Yeah.
never demonstrated some super duper force. I mean, if it was like she walked down the street and the force just knocked shit over behind her, she was so powerful, right? That'd be one thing, but no.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like thrown in there. It's not really explained. It's just like there, and it's like, oh yeah, that's his motivation. It's just like, but why, man? They were just digging up grass, and then he sees the two girls, and he's like, oh man, I'm drawn to her. I'm like, man, this is Leslie Headland. Wasn't she the she was the assistant for Harvey Weinstein, right?
Yeah, so she got did dirty.
Mm,
Don't matter. She's ugly.
you
He'd fuck
think?
her anyway.
Do you think this is some stuff creeping up? Maybe
No, these
past
people live in
past
abject
creeping up.
denial.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
man, so that's what they live in. But I want to go back. I want to go back to the Corbin right quick. Of course, when they realize, because he took the blood sample, when they realize that Osha and May is one consciousness separated into two bodies. All right. And they have the high midichlorian content. Yes, you heard what I just said. One consciousness separated into two separate bodies. All right.
So shouldn't they be like retarded? I think it should be retarded. Like,
could they rejoin together?
like Voltron.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Our twins
time.
Activate.
Yeah, could we have some morphin time? Power Rangers. I mean, we have something like that. But once he figured that out, he's like, "Oh, we found a virgin. So if we go get him, we can go home." It's just like, man, what's at the house, dog? I'm trying to figure out what he's got at the house. Something must be popping out. That do Jedi have they sit around and drink booze and stuff? Look at strippers.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. I
should.
Oh man, I can't.
Imagine being able to tip a girl from across the room.
Yeah. You gonna float the dollars to her or whatever the coin is, the gold bar. And someone float it right to you. It's like, hey, my room later on. You know what I'm saying? Just be writing it down in the air. You kind of show off with the force. But he kind of kicks it off as far as going there. Of course, Soul follows him, and that's when we have the breakdown in communication. And what's crazy is that when Soul stabs the mother, you know what I'm saying? He seems shocked that he stabbed her. I'm like, Bo, you pulled your lightsaber out and stabbed her. Like, he's like shocked. Oh shit, she's gonna die. I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, I thought that was the premise of what you're trying to do. But she goes and she says, I was gonna let Osha go with y'all, and I was just like, could you have just said that and not went into the black mist? I mean,
well, they kind of screwed up because they took Homeboy into some weird dark trance thing. The other Jedi.
Yeah.
Like, what were you doing? What were you expecting? You got some Jedi here, and you're just going to play games with them when they're the masters of the Force? Like, fuck you.
Yeah, and also, but the way that she took over Corbin's mind. Okay, so we see that the other witches have to actually turn into the black mist and I guess go somewhere else, and then that's how they take over. But the mother was actually able to infiltrate his mind without ever transforming or anything as far as Torben goes, because I guess Torben allowed her in. But the whole thing, she was just like, it was kind of like seductive, and it's like, don't you want to go home? You could go home at any time. All you got to do is leave. It's just like, is that all it took? It took this? Like, this guy doesn't seem like he's going to be a master at any point in time. You know what I'm saying? Like Torben.
Yeah, I agree.
Like
he's a little bitch.
Have you noticed that all the white Jedi in this particular series have been a little?
I didn't make that connection, but I should have known. Yeah,
or like this.
You mean they sissies?
Yeah, a little like that. I mean, good God, but it's just been like, all right. So I mean, because the way when we see Torben, he's like this hard ass who's meditating, and he's got a force shield that you can't break around him, and then all of a sudden he just, I've been waiting for you for years. I mean, but have you? This is who you've been waiting for? So you could drink some poison? You couldn't have just jumped off the side of a cliff and it? I mean, I don't get it.
It was weak. I understand what they were trying to do. They tried to make it seem like such a profound thing to these Jedi, but it just wasn't that profound in general.
It won't. It's like you were on a mission, and it's just all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, she's transforming. I don't know what the hell these people are. I know earlier they took over Torben's mind and completely had him in a trance. So she transforming. I got to do something before she jumps into one of our bodies. And then the witches jump into Kelnaka's body and take him over. So I was like, damn, at least we got to see the Wookiee fight. Now, he was just overpowering is what he was. He was overpowering. And of course, Soul, he was more trying to disarm him. But Corey, I got a question for you, okay? Because Indara finally shows up. All right. Indara finally shows up, and first off, she puts Kelnaka into Hurricane Rana. I thought she was Rey Mysterio. Like she jumped right up on him, right? I mean, I was like, okay. But when she used the Force to free Kelnaka from the spell of the witches, it killed all the witches. It was almost like Trinity unplugged them from the Matrix. Because that's exactly what happens. When you get unplugged from the Matrix, you just fall over. I said, dude, did they just do the Matrix?
I didn't see that, but then again,
I seen it. That's what I seen.
I probably had a block against it.
Yeah, I couldn't help to see it because when I see her, all I think is Trinity. You know what I'm saying? And then she's just like, oh. And then the witches were going back and forth, and then they're like, oh. I was like, hold on a second. So if somebody breaks your spell over somebody, you die. Like I wouldn't be taking over nobody's body. Because I mean, I figure eventually I'm gonna run into somebody who's gonna be able to, break loose.
Mm-hmm.
Like it can't be that simple. Like they just died, like instantly. Like all 30 of them. I was like,
I don't think they died there. I mean, it seemed like they were like.
Are you sure?
I'm somewhat.
They were just laying there lifeless.
Well, they just kind of fell like they were. I don't know if they're all dead. I mean.
Well, in episode 3, when May runs in there, or Osha runs in there, they're all dead. Like they're lifeless. Like they killed them.
They were doing some weird Force stuff, and it like backfired on them. Is what I got out of it.
Okay. So it's like you're thinking like electrical current.
Yeah, that's exactly how I'm thinking.
So you got some feedback,
right?
Okay. You know what I'm saying? You touched a high voltage fence while you were grounded.
It seemed like their trance spell thing that was going on was broken by Trinity, and then that's when they all fell.
Kind of short circuited.
Yeah.
Okay. All at once. All of them together.
Yeah.
As they flew around in the
because remember that's their thing. Mist. The power of many, right? That stupid shit. Like that's what they were doing.
Well, I didn't know they could teleport too. Shit. Hey, when you start seeing stuff like this, stuff can teleport. I mean, all I know how to use is deadly force at this moment because I don't know what y'all gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And then I like how it tried to retcon stuff. May's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you, Osha," and she sets the fire to the book, and then it's like, "Oh no, I just accidentally set the fire." It's just like you're just in there fighting Osha, talking about you gonna kill her. Then you're like, "Oh, well, no, I didn't want to kill her." Never mind how the fire burned up a temple of rock, a temple of stone, caused an explosion. I mean, it's just like, okay, so when I look at this series as a whole so far, I look at it and I'm like, dude, this thing has got the bones to make a good show. And it was supposed to be a murder mystery. And they had the audacity to utter Andor's name in this, which is not even close to being an Andor. Not even in the same vicinity. Okay? As far as storytelling. But murder mystery, in the first 2 episodes, it had us like, okay, this is a murder mystery. I was feeling where they were going. And they just completely let go of the rope. I mean, just completely and utterly. It just went from bad to worse since episode 3.
So do we have another episode left?
We got one left.
One left.
The finale. The finale's coming up.
But what could possibly be in the finale? So let's talk about what could possibly be in this upcoming finale. So you're going to have some sort of confrontation between the Jedi and the dude who's got the only cool mask in all of Star Wars.
Yeah, the Quimir. Yeah.
Homeboy's got the dopest mask ever. It beats Kylo Ren. It beats Darth Vader. It looks like a mix between like some robot parts and the Gimp mask. So I dig it. Now, one thing we didn't talk about is Osha's inevitable slide towards the dark side, which is what
Is she gonna kill Soul? Is that what we're thinking?
No, because it's going to be a very short redemption arc. So, not at all. Not at all. So, by the end of this next coming episode, both of them will have fully converted to the good side. You see how I'm yawning? It's just how excited this stuff is. They're both going to be in a situation. The Jedis are going to be in danger. One of them's going to be like, "Oh, I need to help the Jedi," and then the fucking Asian guy's going to be like, "No, they killed your parents and destroyed your
Yeah,
everything."
but how does he know? What does he know from? I was expecting to see like Child Quamir hanging out somewhere.
He's just going to know. He's just going to know.
Okay, he just knows.
He's got.
Is he in Brindok
He's
somewhere?
better at the Force than all those other people. That's all there is to
it. Because here's the thing about Brindok. Like in episode 3, it made you seem like this place that they're at was inhabited by other people. Just that the witches lived in this particular coven at this particular place. But then you get to episode 7, it's like, oh no, nothing's supposed to be here. I guess the witches fled from wherever and set up shop here. It's just like, okay, so now this opens up a whole door, because now, like, we had this murder mystery, and we're like, oh dang, who's this Dark Force user, Quamir? Oh, okay, Quamir. How's he know about Soul? And then all of a sudden, it's just like, so it's just Quamir just in here, just to make sure we have somebody with a red lightsaber.
You got it. Well, you got to think. Here's a problem that this storyline has no connection to anything. It doesn't connect to anything. It's a standalone. So they can sink this ship very easily and nice and neatly with a bow on. I mean, it's not been renewed for season 2, right? Or season 2 was specifically not renewed.
I haven't seen anything.
I saw a little bit of scuttlebutt from Endymion and Mike Zero on talking about this, that were basically saying that Disney knows this sucks. They're over it. Everyone's fired. There's not going to be a season 2. And that they were saying that the actor who plays Osha was out there whining on social media that the fans are, it's all the fans' fault, that they don't like, this formula.
Well, no, look, the reason, like I said, the bones were there. When I started in episode 1, I'm like, oh shit, who's May? Okay, oh shit, she's got a master. All right, we got a murder mystery. Okay, we're leading up to something. All right, what we got going on? And then it hit episode 3, and we just start floundering. And then, just to be honest, Osha and May are not riveting characters. Like, she's not good at acting, and they're just not well written. Okay, sometimes you can overcome a bad actor if they're well written. But, like, their motivations don't make any sense. May is schizophrenic, okay? 1 second she wants to kill you. The next second she's loving on you. And then 30 seconds later she's like, well, I want to trade places with you. I'm just like, you all over the place. Like, I know what they're trying to do. It's just the fact that they're not smart enough to do it. That's it. They don't have the chops to do it, the writing chops to do it.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that Leslie person who was Harvey Weinstein's assistant, do you think she still has a job because she played the victim card?
Most definitely.
You think people give her a job out of sympathy?
100%. 100%. Yeah, but she hadn't done anything good. Hold on a second.
I'm a lesbian and he made me touch his thingy.
Golly, Bo. Let me go back. I think we may have spoke about this, but I want to pull it back up, because she is the creator, okay? Leslie Headland. All right. And she did come out and say that this was going to be the gayest Star Wars yet. I'm just like, well, why would you even say that? So here's what she's done, okay?
Have they made any of the robots gay yet?
Well, yeah, she said something about C-3PO's gay. She said, I know he's gay.
Look, I know he's got that British accent, but that don't mean nothing.
I'm like, it's a robot, man. It's a robot. It ain't got no dick or no put. What are we talking about, man? I mean, oh my goodness. Okay, so here's what she's written. All right. Okay, so she's written. Okay, here we go. Producer. Here you go. Producer. Bachelorette, assistants, sleeping with other people, cleansed, Heathers, finding the asshole, chapter 3, almost family, pink and blue, Russian doll, single drunk female, and then the acolyte. At any point in time, did you hear any top movies in there?
No.
Top TV series?
Single drunk female? That sounds like some weird fucking feminist rape fantasy.
Yeah. I mean, that one got a 6.8. That one got to get rated. But look, most of her stuff's gotten bad ratings. Okay, The Assistants, a TV movie, 2.1. Cleanse, 2.1. Finding the Asshole, chapter 3, 1 star, cuz. Pink and Blue, 2.8 stars. And The Acolyte, 3.5. But we've had some bad Star Wars stuff. People are rating this the worst thing yet.
Yeah.
3.5.
I thought Kenobi was pretty bad, but this is pretty bad. This is pretty badder. Well, here's the problem. It doesn't have any good storyline, and the only reason it exists is to promote some kind of woke agenda. That's it.
Yeah, and to promote Jedi bad.
Right.
Jedi bad.
Right.
Jedi are bad. Like, that's what it's trying to do. Mm-hmm. But it's not even doing that well.
No.
Like, it's doing that poorly.
It's doing that poorly, yes.
Yeah, because this episode should have been like you should have been thinking, like, are these 4 Jedi, actually dark side users? That's what it should have made you think, but it didn't make me think that at all. It just made me think that mistakes were made. That was it. I mean, like, I was looking for something else here, and I didn't get it. Like, I didn't get it at all. And so now it pushes us in a corner. Because we don't have but 30 minutes left of this series. That's all we got left.
Right, and all
They're
we're
not
going to
do no 2-hour finale.
Nope.
We got 30 minutes left.
All we're going to get is some sort of weird setup that's going to bring the 2 sisters and the Japanese Jedi guy and the bad guy all together, right? This is what's going to happen. And then you're going to have the 2 girls have some sort of inner conflict. They're going to side with the Jedi, and then everyone's going to live happily ever after. One of them might die. Are they
going to beat Quamir, or is May and Osha going to beat Quamir?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my God, man! Is this going to be like damn The Force Awakens, where Rey beats Kylo Ren when they out there in the forest? That was the most disgusting display ever. I'm like, Kylo been practicing his whole life, and he gonna lose to Rey, who ain't never picked up a lightsaber? Man, please, miss me with that, bud. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I mean, I want to be based in reality. And look, what always happens, okay? This always happens. And this is just not have anything to do with her being female. This happens with males too. Whenever they go and they fight the badass the first time, when they're just figuring out their powers, they get their ass kicked. Because you're fighting the badass. I don't know, maybe the one that's been doing this one longer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't no damn prodigy. All right? I mean, it's just all there is to it. You know what I'm saying? I always go back to, one of my favorite animes, Bleach. Okay? Ichigo. And Ichigo was pure T badass, okay? But I'm going to tell you right now, every time he fought somebody who'd been doing it a little bit longer than him, he was getting his ass whooped. A lot. You know what I'm saying? He had to overcome that. He had to practice up. You know what I'm saying? And if you think of all like your animes, think of Dragon Ball Z. Goku. Goku had to tote many ass whoopings. Vegeta? Woo! They toted some ass whoopings. You know what I'm saying? They end up leveling up. But when they fought somebody who had been doing this longer, who was more powerful, they didn't just go out there and kick their ass. You know what I'm saying? There was some trials and tribulations. So that kind of make it kind of like downplays how strong your villains are. You know what I'm saying? So if May and Osha somehow get in, a double duel against Quamir and then they kill him, after he just mopped the floor with 8 Jedi out there in the forest, have been doing this for a while, it's just gonna be bad, man. It is.
Yeah, I agree.
Is
But
that what's gonna happen, Corey?
I don't know, but I think here's what prediction I'm gonna make. We're gonna get a decent lightsaber battle.
Okay.
We'll get a decent
Okay.
lightsaber battle. We saw what could have been a really good battle when Asian dude took out all those Jedi. That was pretty badass. He
Mm-hmm.
was good. It felt Star Warsy. I think we'll have a couple minutes that feel Star Warsy for sure.
Okay. Well, I feel like in this last episode they're gonna have to jump into it quick. Like it's gonna have to be quick. I mean, I don't know how they're gonna end up meeting up at the same place. Like, how are they gonna end up meeting up at the same place? Like logistically, like they don't know where Cormier's at, so he's got to come to them.
He's got to go to them. Yep, he's got to go to them.
I guess Osha's gonna take him there because she put the mask on. So
that was a kind of telling moment, wasn't it? That was a
yeah.
And I don't know if you caught that, but he said he made a reference to the cave. The whole cave is a big theme in Star Wars. Go into the cave and find your inner self. And he made a reference to that when he said to something about you can only take what you got with you. And most people, and he said it very casually to where most people probably missed it. But they do kind of try to reference Star Wars things from time to time, I guess.
Man said from time to time. Oh dear God Almighty! All right, so yeah, that's our thoughts right there. It's really needs some more runtime, but I don't know that they could do anything with it.
Well, here's the point. The point is what happens the day after, right? What happens the day after that he gets beat down, the Sith gets destroyed, and the two girls prove themselves to be, on the good side. What then?
The Jedi have to kill them.
Well, they can't be Jedis, and they can't be walking around with Force powers. I don't know.
Yeah, the Jedi have to kill them. Is that what it's going to be? The final Jedi bad? It's like, look, this can't get back to the Council, period. So for Nestor, whips both their heads off. Now, that would be a shocker right there at the end. I'd be like, oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, the Council can know nothing about this, all right? And you'd be sitting there, it's like, we appreciate you, man, Osha. Boom, both the heads come off. I'd be like, oh, there we go. You know what I'm saying? Hey, throw a twist in there. But then the show's going to cut off afterwards. And then you can be like, it's not going to be another season of this, so yeah. Well, this kind of seems like a waste.
We'll have to. It does seem like a waste. A waste of time, effort, and money. They spent $200 million on this fucking show, which is ridiculous.
Yeah. Especially when they could have made something good here.
And it was all made in a studio. It was all in a studio with CGI. There was no none of the landscapes are real. So I don't know how this could have cost so much money. But we're just gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to wait until the next episode, and then we'll have to do a finale on it. And
and figure out maybe if they're not going to be able to. The story's gone. There is no cohesive story now.
Correct.
So
all that's left is a battle between the good and the evil, and then they're going to convert to good, and then then the question is, what's the point? The question after that is, what was the point?
Yeah, that'd be the question. Do you think we'll have any cameos at the end? Sometimes they like to do cameos. Think we have a cameo?
Maybe. We'll see.
Who though?
I don't know. Maybe they'll do something stupid like a Force Ghost, even though the Force Ghost shit hasn't happened yet. The Force Ghost stuff didn't happen until Plagueis, ever. So, there we go.
Hey, look. Okay. They just didn't tell you about it, all right?
Oh, they didn't tell us. Gotcha.
Like to keep secrets, yeah. It's just like this Vergence in the Force they were looking for. And they happen to be, one person split into two.
Mm-hmm.
That witches made by using the Force. Which is not supposed to be able to happen. But hey, this is a new day, okay? This is a new day. So we appreciate everybody for checking us out. How many cubes?
3.
Yeah.
3 cubes.
It's a solid 3. It's a solid 3. Solid
The
3.
whole show has been a solid 3. So
Yeah, maybe at least we'll get a good lightsaber battle in the last episode. If it could be like a 25-minute lightsaber battle and just like not even have any dialogue or anything, I'd go for that.
yeah, we'll see.
Just 25 minutes of fighting, and I go for that. So, guys, let us know your thoughts on this in the comment section below. Appreciate everybody for checking us out. If you listen to us on podcast platforms, hit the follow button. If you watch this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button there. We're going to bring in the last episode to you next week. Me and Corey are also going to cover Furiosa, which I just recently watched. Okay. So we'll be giving the thoughts on that. And before I close, is it for Furiosa? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs sideways.
It's a teetering between up and sideways.
Okay, all right, cool.
I thought it was a good story.
Cool.
It didn't have really anything to do with Mad Max. Obviously, it was the lead up to the next film. But I thought without getting into it in detail, I couldn't think that they cast somebody who was so totally different than Charlize Theron.
Yeah,
you know, totally like what are we going to be doing here, right? So
yeah, completely. So we're gonna be bringing that to you guys. Hope y'all did enjoy this. Like I said, hit that follow button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll catch y'all on the next Showtime with the Cube. Peace out.